Good morning, Joey. Please have a seat.
Good morning, Phoebe. Thank you so much.
How are you feeling today?
A little nervous, but mostly excited.
That's perfectly normal. Let's start with a quick introduction. Can you tell me a bit about yourself?
Sure. My name is Joey Tribbiani. I'm originally from New York, and I have experience working in customer service and sales. I enjoy working with people and learning new things.
Great. Could you tell me more about your previous job?
Of course, I worked as a sales associate at a retail store. My main responsibilities were helping customers, managing stock, and meeting monthly sales goals.
What did you enjoy most about that job?
I really liked interacting with customers. I enjoyed helping them find what they needed and making sure they left the store satisfied.
And what did you find most challenging?
Sometimes, dealing with difficult customers could be stressful, but I learned how to stay calm, listen carefully, and find a solution that worked for both sides.
That's good to hear. Customer service can teach a lot about patience and communication.
Exactly. I think those experiences made me more confident when dealing with different types of people.
Excellent. Now, can you tell me why you applied for this position?
I applied because I believe this company offers opportunities for growth. I'm really interested in working in a professional environment where I can develop my skills further.
That's a good reason. What do you know about our company?
From what I've researched, your company focuses on providing innovative solutions for clients and has a strong reputation for teamwork and excellence. I really admire that.
I'm glad you did your homework. We value people who take initiative.
Thank you. I always try to be prepared.
Tell me, Joey, what do you think are your greatest strengths?
I'd say my communication skills, teamwork, and adaptability. I'm very comfortable working in a team environment, but I can also handle tasks independently.
Could you give me an example of a time you demonstrated teamwork?
Sure. At my last job, we had a big sales target for the holiday season. Everyone was stressed, but I helped motivate the team by keeping the atmosphere positive. We ended up exceeding our target by 15%.
That's impressive. So you enjoy motivating others?
Yes. I think good teamwork comes from supporting each other, especially when things get busy.
I completely agree. What about weaknesses? Everyone has them.
True. I think one area I'm working on is time management. I sometimes take on too many tasks because I want to help everyone, and that can affect my schedule. But I'm learning to prioritize better.
That's a very honest answer. Prioritization is key. How do you manage your time now?
I've started using digital tools to plan my day. I also make to-do lists and break tasks into smaller parts so it feels more manageable.
That's a practical approach. Let's talk about pressure. How do you handle stressful situations?
I try to stay calm and focus on what I can control. For example, if there's a tight deadline, I make a quick plan and focus on completing one task at a time.
Sounds like a solid strategy. Have you ever missed a deadline?
Once, yes. It was early in my career. I underestimated the time needed for a report, but I learned from it and started tracking my progress daily.
Learning from mistakes is important. What motivates you at work?
I'm motivated by growth and recognition. I love learning new things and seeing the results of my effort.
Good. This role requires initiative. How do you usually approach new challenges?
I start by researching and understanding the situation. Then I break it down into steps and ask for advice if needed.
Great attitude. Can you tell me about a time you solved a difficult problem at work?
Sure. Once, a customer was upset about a product defect. Instead of just offering a refund, I found a replacement from another store location and had it delivered to them. They were so happy they left a positive review online.
That's an excellent example of going above and beyond.
Thank you. I believe small actions can create loyal customers.
Absolutely. Let's shift to teamwork again. How do you handle conflicts with coworkers?
I always try to talk directly and respectfully. I think communication solves most problems. If I'm wrong, I admit it. If I disagree, I explain my perspective calmly.
That's a mature approach. Do you prefer working alone or in a team?
I like both. I enjoy teamwork because it brings fresh ideas, but I also like working alone when I need to focus deeply.
Nice balance. Now, this job may sometimes require multitasking. How comfortable are you with that?
Quite comfortable. At my last job, I often handled customer queries while managing stock and assisting with billing. It taught me to stay organized.
That's good experience. How do you stay organized in general?
I like to plan my tasks the night before. I write down the top 3 things I must finish, then fill in smaller ones later.
Sounds effective. Let's talk about career goals. Where do you see yourself in 5 years?
I see myself growing within this company, taking on more responsibility, and maybe leading a small team.
Leadership ambitions. I like that. What kind of leader do you hope to be?
Supportive and approachable. I want my team to feel valued and inspired to give their best.
That's great. We value leaders who support their teams. What do you think makes a workplace great?
I think a good workplace is one where people communicate openly, respect each other, and feel appreciated for their work.
Very true. What kind of work environment do you perform best in?
I do well in positive, structured environments where expectations are clear, but there's room for creativity.
Excellent answer. What does success mean to you?
To me, success means doing my best, contributing to the team, and continuing to learn.
I like that perspective. Do you prefer routine tasks or dynamic work that changes daily?
I like a mix of both. Routine gives stability, but change keeps me motivated.
Fair enough. Let's talk about communication. How would you describe your communication style?
I try to be clear and polite. I listen carefully before responding. I also adjust my tone depending on the situation.
That's important, especially for client-facing roles. Do you handle feedback well?
Yes, I see feedback as a way to grow. I always appreciate honest input.
Have you ever received critical feedback? How did you respond?
Yes. Once my manager told me I was taking too long to finalize reports. Instead of feeling bad, I asked for tips and found a way to speed up the process.
That shows maturity. Tell me about a time you had to learn something quickly.
When our store introduced a new billing software, I had to train others within a week. I spent extra time after work learning the system until I mastered it.
That's great initiative. How do you usually learn new skills?
I prefer hands-on learning, but I also read or watch tutorials. I'm naturally curious.
That curiosity will serve you well. Let's talk about reliability. How do you make sure you meet deadlines?
I plan backward from the due date, break big tasks into smaller ones, and track progress daily.
Efficient approach. What are your salary expectations for this role?
I'm open, depending on the responsibilities and growth opportunities. I'm sure we can agree on something fair.
That's a professional answer. Are you open to learning new tools or software for this job?
Absolutely. I actually enjoy learning new systems. It keeps the job interesting.
Good to know. What would your previous manager say about you?
They'd say, I'm dependable, easy to work with, and always ready to help others.
That's a good reputation to have. If you could improve one skill right now, what would it be?
Probably advanced Excel. I can do the basics, but I'd like to become faster with formulas and reports.
We provide training for that, so you'll have plenty of opportunities.
That's great to hear.
Let's do a quick situational question. Imagine a client complains about a service delay. How would you handle it?
I'd apologize sincerely, explain the reason briefly, and offer a clear solution like a revised timeline or a small gesture to make up for the delay.
Excellent. Now, imagine you're given 2 urgent tasks from different managers. What would you do?
I'd first clarify priorities with both managers and explain the situation. Then I'd focus on whichever is more time sensitive.
That's a smart, diplomatic answer. How do you stay motivated when work gets repetitive?
I remind myself of the bigger purpose behind the task. I also set mini goals to keep things interesting.
Good mindset. What do you like to do outside of work?
I enjoy reading, watching shows, and spending time with friends. I also like cooking when I have time.
Cooking sounds relaxing. Do you think hobbies help at work?
Definitely. They refresh your mind and help you return to work with better focus.
Agreed. How would you describe your personality in 3 words?
Friendly, adaptable, and dependable.
Nice combination. What are you looking for in your next manager?
Someone who communicates clearly and supports professional growth.
That's fair. How do you define professionalism?
For me, it means being punctual, respectful, and responsible in everything I do.
Well said. What do you do when you make a mistake at work?
I take responsibility immediately, fix it if possible, and make sure it doesn't happen again.
Good approach. Let's talk about deadlines again. What do you do when you're behind schedule?
I inform my supervisor early, ask for help if needed, and focus on completing the most critical parts first.
That's proactive. How do you keep yourself productive throughout the day?
I take short breaks, prioritize tasks, and avoid multitasking too much. It helps me stay focused.
Do you work better in the morning or evening?
I'm most productive in the morning, but I can adapt if needed.
Flexibility is always good. Do you prefer structured supervision or more independence?
I like having clear expectations, but prefer the freedom to decide how to complete my work.
Perfect balance. What motivates you more, money, recognition, or growth?
Growth. Recognition is nice too, but learning something new keeps me going.
Good answer. How do you handle failure?
I reflect on what went wrong and see it as a lesson, not a defeat.
That's a healthy attitude. What would you do if you disagreed with your manager's decision?
I'd share my opinion respectfully and explain my reasons, but if the decision stands, I'd support it fully.
Very professional. What kind of projects interest you most?
Projects that involve teamwork, creativity, and problem solving.
Excellent. What are you most proud of in your career so far?
Achieving my previous company's highest sales in one quarter, it was a proud moment for me.
Congratulations. That's impressive. How do you celebrate your achievements?
Usually by treating my friends to pizza. Simple but meaningful.
That's sweet. What's one thing you've learned from past jobs?
That communication and attitude matter more than just skills.
Very true. Why should we hire you, Joey?
Because I bring strong communication skills, a positive mindset, and a genuine desire to contribute. I'm also quick to learn and adapt.
Excellent summary. Do you have any questions for me?
Yes, I'd love to know more about the training process for new employees.
We have a 2-week onboarding program followed by mentorship. You'll never feel lost.
That sounds amazing. One more question. How would you describe the company culture here?
It's collaborative, friendly, and focused on growth. We really value teamwork and initiative.
That's exactly the kind of environment I'm looking for.
I'm glad to hear that. Well, Joey, I must say, you've done really well today.
Thank you, Phoebe. I really enjoyed this conversation.
We'll be reviewing all candidates and we'll contact you soon.
Great. I appreciate the opportunity and your time.
It was my pleasure. Have a great day, Joey.
You too, Phoebe. Goodbye.